And so I went to bed that night, feeling a little gross because I was feeling this envy, and I woke up the next morning. So I got on the plane, and the next morning after the Paul Simon show, to fly to a concert, and with my little band, and was still feeling this envy and discontentment with my career. And I had Lord of the Rings with me, and I was reading it. I just happened to be on the plane reading it that morning on the flight, and I happened to read the scene where Shelob has wrapped up Frodo in the web, and Sam thinks he's dead. So Sam takes the ring, and little Samwise begins to feel the temptation of the ring. And it's an amazing passage where Sam begins to imagine himself as Samwise the Great. And he looks out at, Mordor, and he's like, man, with a sweep, if I had this power, with a sweep of my hand, I could turn all this into green valley. If only I had this. And anyway, it basically says that when he thought about gardening, he remembered his little garden plot at the Shire, and it says his hobbit sense returned to him, and he realized he didn't want to be in charge of other men's hands. He just wanted his own hands to control, to work with, and his own small garden. And it felt like God had just like lightning bolted me and said, basically, Paul Simon's story is Paul Simon's story. Your story is your story. And I've given you a garden to tend. And that, if you want a rich, full, good life, that's what you do. So it wasn't that Sam wanted to do a bad thing. He was tempted to do what he thought of as a very good thing. And I think the takeaway is that you may want to do a good thing, but if it's not your thing to do, it's the wrong thing. I think about Samwise a lot, and when I'm tempted and I feel envious or I wish things were different, I go, no, 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 no. Like, this is the garden God has given me. I want my hobbit sense to stay deeply ingrained in my mind and my body and my heart. And it just, like, the temptation just vanishes when you think of it that way, because who doesn't want to live in the Shire with a little garden to tend, you know what I mean? But we live in an age where we're expected to do great things. And I think great things are small things in the kingdom's economy.